Good morning. Today is March 27th, day 4. Happy National Scribble Day. Good morning, guys. Or well, it's afternoon now. I've been working on my teacher training today to kind of learn how our system's going to work. We're going to use for digital learning. For those that don't know, we've done a few projects on it. We're going to be using Canvas, or what we call My Learning. So where we did the Dr. Seuss project and what was the other one? Oh, a Hurricanes project. It's on that same platform on how we use it. So it'll be really easy. I'm going through my teacher training still, but I decided it's 1 o'clock now, so I'm going to take a break and record our video for you guys. I've been learning some really cool stuff, and there's even a way I'll be able to respond to you guys in a video, so you'll be able to see my face more, and we'll be able to have what's called a conference call, so we can kind of have all of our video, like a video of all of us there, and we'll be able to see each other and talk to each other. So I'm really excited. I'm really excited for it to be Tuesday, so we could get started and get working. But let's go ahead and just get started with our reading. For our Great Treehouse War, and we are on Artist Vision. Artist Vision, day 1 before what happened. As Winnie made her way to the cafeteria for lunch, she decided not to tell her friends about her conversation with Mr. B. She knew they'd understand. They were very understanding friends. "We sure are, Lyle." But just at that moment, what Winnie wanted was to forget all about talks with the teachers and local history reports and her weird parents. So she pushed the thoughts to the furthest corner of her mind and focused on happier things. "Winnie's here!" Lyle called across the cafeteria when Winnie stepped through the double doors. Winnie smiled and scurried over to the 5th grade table, where she squeezed onto the bench between Squeezy and Greta. "Finally," Asha said. "Squeezy wouldn't let us eat the cupcakes till you got here." "It's my birthday," Squeezy replied, tilting the pink crown that Greta had made for her. "We ate cupcakes when I say." Squeezy wrapped one arm around Winnie. "And now that Winnie's here, I say okay." That was very sweet. She waited for her friend just before she celebrated. "Singing first," Tabitha demanded. And while everyone sang happy birthday to Squeezy, Winnie turned on her artist vision to observe each of her friends. Uncle Huck was the person who taught Winnie about artist vision. Even though Uncle Huck was an architect, which was not technically an artist, he had what he liked to call an artistic mind. And he said Winnie had one too. He claimed that the two of them shared an ability to see things in a way that most people couldn't. Winnie's mom claimed that Uncle Huck's artistic mind was simply Uncle Huck's excuse to live like a slob. But Winnie disagreed. When Winnie turned on her artist vision, it was like the light shifted just a little, and she could observe things at a new angle, deeper, better, and truer. She observed, for example, the way Squeezy's eyes lit up when Joel handed her a sparkly green gift bag, and the way she ripped through the tissue paper. So Winnie knew that even though Squeezy said, "Oh, you didn't have to get me anything," she was actually thrilled to get a gift. "And of Green Gables," Squeezy squealed. "Thanks, Joel. I've been wanting this one." She began reading right away. Winnie turned off her artist vision and nudged Greta beside her. "Did you?" she whispered softly so Squeezy wouldn't hear. Winnie probably didn't need to whisper, because when Squeezy had her nose buried in a book, she never heard anything else anyway. "Yeah, that's pretty true, Squeezy." "These were the ones you wanted, right?" Greta asked. Pulled a wad of embroidery thread out of her pocket. Red, yellow, and 2 shades of orange, Squeezy's favorite colors. "You're so nice to make Squeezy a bracelet for her birthday. I mean, since she's one of your best friends. It would be super nice to have a best friend." Winnie was feeling a little guilty about not having finished a super awesome present for Squeezy's birthday already. But when you only have one treehouse afternoon a week, there's only so much you can squeeze in. "Don't feel bad, Winnie. The bracelet is my favorite. It has all the best colors. I wear it every day." Squeezy. "Thanks," Winnie told Greta. "Here." She handed over half her ham sandwich. Greta was always happy to exchange craft supplies for lunch food, because her dad only ever packed her healthy things she hated, like cucumber sprout wraps. Grossest lunch ever. Greta. And so, in between bites of ham sandwich and chocolate cupcakes, Greta taught Winnie how to make a friendship bracelet for Squeezy's birthday present. While Winnie and Greta worked, Joel pulled out her Scrabble board. "Your turn today, Lyle," she announced. Nobody ever beat her at Scrabble, but everyone in Mr. B's class took turns playing her at lunch anyway. If you could score more than 50 points in a game versus Joel Watson, it was counted as a win for the whole class. That was the rule. Winnie finished off a row of knots on her friendship bracelet. "What now?" she asked Greta. Greta showed her. Lyle placed her first tiles on the board. 8 points, let me try that again. 8 points, he declared proudly. Tabitha, who was keeping score, wrote the numbers on her scrap of paper. She didn't seem impressed. "Really?" she asked Lyle. "Teeth? That's the best word you can come up with." "Teeth is the best word in the world," Lyle said. "Except maybe floss. But I don't have any F's yet." "You wasted 2 good E's," she told him. Tabitha began dumping more letters out of the bag to add to Lyle's tray. "Ooh, look! You got a Z. You could spell lizard. Don't you think lizards are the coolest pet in the entire world? Don't you think my grandma should get me a lizard for a graduation present?" Rogan looked up from where he was trying to sneak carrots into his brother's mound of mashed potatoes. "I was doing that so Logan would accidentally eat carrots and barf. Logan hates carrots," Rogan. "It didn't work, though, because I was sitting right next to you and I saw." Logan. "If you get a lizard," he said to Tabitha, "can me and Logan borrow it to freak people out?" "Lizards don't freak people out," Tabitha replied. She lined up Lyle's new letters in the tray in front of him. At least they shouldn't. Lizards are actually very calm animals. "Lizards rule!" Tabitha. "Do you think we could eat it to train dragonflies?" Logan asked. "And then we could call it a dragon lizard like on Dragon Destroyers? And freak everyone out?" "Winnie, maybe you should explain that Dragon Destroyers is a TV show that Logan and Brogan are obsessed with. Not everyone who reads this memoir might know that." Squeezy. "Who doesn't know about Dragon Destroyers?" Logan. Again, I love how so I don't know if you can see, but they have little marks to tell like which comment goes where. And I love that it has their comments throughout the whole story, so they all got to be a part of the book. "Lizard would only get you 16 points, Jolene told Lyle, "unless you place it on a double letter or something. But there's probably something better you could do with the Z." Winnie took a bite of sandwich and finished off another row of her friendship bracelet. "And now?" she asked Greta. But Greta was busy peering over Joey's shoulder at the phone game he was playing. Something about bashing blocks. "It's called Block Basher. It was cool for a while, but then it kind of sort of got boring. I was only playing it because I'd already watched the new Blight Boy and Wrench Monkey comic online 6 times, so I need something to do." Joey. And I think Joey's a little obsessed with comic books because next to his name is a little picture of a comic book. "Greta," Winnie said. Greta." Finally, Greta snapped away from Joey's phone and showed Winnie the next step. "You could use the Z to spell zinc," Asha suggested from the far end of the table. When Lyle looked at him funny, Asha explained, "Zinc is a chemical element. I was going to use it for my science fair experiment and show you when you mix zinc powder with iodine, you get this awesome purple smoke. But when I was practicing, my dumb sister added the water too fast and started crying because her stuffed elephant's trunk got disintegrated. She totally ruined my science experiment. And now my parents are making me do something completely boring for the science fair, like a volcano or something. And they want me to spend my allowance to get Ash a new elephant. Can you believe that?" Winnie turned her artist vision back on, watching Asha, and she observed something very interesting in the shifted light. Asha's mouth squinched into a tight, straight line. His fingers fiddled with his empty cupcake wrapper as he talked. Winnie wondered if it was really his science experiment that Asha was upset about. "I was upset about that, but maybe Winnie is right that I was upset about something else too." Asha. "Zinc is even a worse word than lizard," Joel told Asha. "It's only 15 points. "Whatever," Asha grumbled. "My parents are idiots, that's all." Ooh, that's not very nice. Squeezy must have been turning a page in her book then, because she actually heard what Asha said. "You think your parents are idiots?" she told them. My parents are going to take away all my books for the next 2 weeks so I can bring up my grades. Can you believe that? I can't believe you failed that math test because you wouldn't stop reading long enough to write your name. Lyle. I was reading Watership Down that day. You wouldn't have stopped for math either. Squeezy. I'm grounded from reading. Have you ever heard of such a thing? Oh my goodness. Grounded from reading. I feel like that would have been me as a kid. Always reading a new book. We're grounded for watching Dragon Destroyers, Logan told the table. Well, not grounded exactly, but we will be if we sneak it again. Kyle's allowed to watch it whenever he wants, just because he's older. I swear, our mom and dad thinks we're babies. Sounds about as stupid as my parents, Joey said, looking up from his phone. I asked for more screen time, and they said no way. That does sound stupid, Greta said, her gaze fixed hard on the side of Joey's face. I was not staring at Joey. I was watching him play on his phone. Greta. She was very upset about that. Look at all those exclamation marks. She was not staring at Joey. I think she was. Well, my moms, Lyle jumped in, rearranging his tiles on his tray, don't even care that my cousins ate Squeezy's tooth. They said it was my fault for leaving the display case where Parker could reach it. That toddler's a monster. He'd probably find a way to eat those teeth if I locked them in a safe. Your cousin ate my tooth? Squeezy asked. Yeah, from my display case, Lyle explained. Oh, Squeezy replied, and she went back to reading. That last part might be confusing to some people reading this memoir. Excuse me. So it probably helped to explain that Lyle Stunkin, future dentist, is obsessed with teeth. Oh, I need to get some water. He keeps a fancy display case lined with purple velvet, like the kind scientists use to show off weird bugs in a museum, full of all of his favorites. Most of the teeth in Lyle's display cases are from his classmates, because Lyle pays way better than the tooth fairy, $6 a tooth, and he labels them very carefully. The display case is Lyle's most prized possession. Sometimes I forget how weird you are, Lyle. Squeezy. I have to show you this one because Lyle just drew a face sticking his tongue out. You really don't even care that my cousin ate your tooth, Lyle asked Squeezy. It was a molar, Squeezy, a molar. One of my best ones. But Squeezy was engrossed in her book again. Winnie offered Lyle a sympathetic frown. He'd already told her about the molar in a note he'd passed to her that morning during silent reading, and Winnie didn't need to use artist vision to know how upset he was about it. At least your cousin's only visiting, Joel told Lyle. With my little sister, it's all, oh, Annalise, so cute and so funny and so... I'm sick of it. Joel laid down her tiles, working off Lyle's word teeth to make feathery. 100 points, she declared. How do you get 100 points on one word? Logan. The F and the Y were both double letter spaces, so that's 25 points. And the T was a double word, which made 50. Plus 50 bonus for using all my tiles. 100. Joel, remind me to never play Scrabble with you ever again. Lyle. Winnie went back to working on her bracelet, looking up every once in a while to observe her friends, the Tulip Street 10, as they like to call themselves. Since Tulip Street Elementary was so small, each grade had only a handful of students. So Winnie had moved from class to class with the exact same kids since kindergarten, and lucky for all of them, the Tulip Street 10 generally got along pretty well. Generally. Lyle. Next year, Winnie knew things would be different. Next year, they'd go off to middle school, where there would be lots of students and lots of classes. Well, hopefully Winnie would go off to middle school. She pushed the conversation with Mr. B into the furthest corner of her mind. This was all the last year of the Tulip Street 10, and somehow, like there was a sort of secret pact between them, Winnie could tell that they had all silently vowed to make this year the best one they'd ever had together. Well, it would definitely turn out to be the strangest. Winnie, Lyle asked her. Winnie snapped out of her thoughts and found Lyle staring at her. You okay? He said. You look like something's bothering you. He's a very observant friend. For just a moment, Winnie wondered if Lyle had artist vision too. she began. It would have been so easy to say she was fine, to lie and not bother her friends with her problems at all. But instead, Winnie tugged at the furthest corner of her mind, pulling all the thoughts she'd been pushing away, and told her friends the truth about her grades and her conversation with Mr. B and her weird parents, which they mostly knew about already, being friends and all. Even Squeezy wrenched her nose out of her book to listen. You should tell your parents they're being idiots, Joey suggested when she finished her story, for making you fail 5th grade. Greta nodded up and down, up and down. Yeah, she said, you should. And not just because Joey has said it. It's a good idea. Tell your parents you don't want to celebrate any more weird holidays. Winnie had to admit, it was an appealing thought. And we could help you with your local history report, Joel added, rearranging the tiles on her letter tray. Did you pick a topic yet? Winnie was feeling a little better already, just from telling her friends about her problem. So it's always good to talk about the things you're going through. Well, I wanted to write about my treehouse tree, she said. Then she wrinkled her nose. But I don't know. Can you write a history report about a tree? It has to be really, really amazing. I think it sounds perfect, Squeezy told her. Plus, she reached under the lunch table for her backpack, which was always bursting with books. I've been reading up for my report on the link between our town and the old country, the Republic of Fiatzio. I think this might help you. She hoisted an enormous book onto the table and pushed it toward Winnie, who glanced at the title. Understanding Embassies and Consulates. Read that chapter there, Squeezy said, pointing to a sticking-out bookmark. Winnie didn't notice then that there was a folded-up piece of paper glued to the back cover of the book with orange juice. No one else noticed either. Thanks, Winnie said, even though she had no idea what an embassy or a consulate was, or how either could possibly help her write a history report about a tree. But if Squeezy said that the book would be useful, then Winnie trusted her. She allowed herself a tiny smile and picked up the last of her chocolate cupcake. I can do it, right? She asked the group. And when they assured her that she could, Winnie felt more confident than ever. Yeah, everything will be fine. And just in that moment, Winnie totally believed it. It's so good to have friends you can talk to and rely on and help give you advice. So I'm not going to read this whole next section because it just shows how to make an easy striped friendship bracelet for your best friend. So if you want, you can comment that you want to know how to make a friendship bracelet, and I will just post a picture of this page for you guys if you want to learn how to make it. Well, it's 2 pages actually because it keeps going. Or you can just pause the screen on the directions and read it. And that's where we'll stop because tomorrow's chapter is Plenty of Peaches, one day before what had happened. Ooh, look how much progress we're making. Well, I guess it's this way. That's how much we've read. That's how much is left. We're getting there. I can't wait until... So we're one day before what happened. I bet we're about to find out what happens. So, happy Friday. Thank you for listening. I am so glad we're getting through this book and we're getting to understand. So for today, it is National Scribble Day. So for National Scribble Day, I want you to scribble a picture. I would say send it to me. If you want, you can have your parents post it on Facebook. I'll see if I can make an album in our group that has where you can post your scribbles for this. And I'll make one too and post it. I think that's all I have for you guys today though. But I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye. I will see you guys tomorrow.